Welcome back to Factfinder Investigates. Malnourished horses seized in Cali County back in the fall are now recovering right now at 2 separate rescue facilities. Brady Bowman has more on the investigation and how these caretakers are bringing these horses back to health.
Sick and starving. That is how nearly 34 horses were found this past September in Cali County. They were seized by the sheriff's office. For months, 2 rescue operations have been rehabilitating these animals, Hope in the Valley and Valley Center and Bluestem Equine in Atlanta. Those in care of the rescued horses say they are regaining their health.
You would never imagine you were looking at the same little babies.
Andy Armstrong is the founder of Hope in the Valley Equine Rescue and Sanctuary. She says these horses were rescued after someone saw their condition and made a call.
You got to do something. You got to call somebody. You have to do something. You can't just sit there and watch them die because they're literally starving to death, which is what was happening to a lot of these horses involved in this case.
Well, the Cali County's Attorney's Office is still reviewing the case. Bluestem believes these animals were used for fraud, adding that the owners were making people believe that they were running a rescue after obtaining these horses from a kill pen. Veterinarians scored the horses low on the Henneke Horse Body Condition scoring system when they were seized.
Every horse that we took in was assessed by a vet and was scoring a 1. And if there was lower, they probably would have been lower.
And these are the alive horses that we were able to take in. Several of the horses died over the course of the investigation due to starvation.
Many of these horses here are now doing much better since that seizure in September. And Armstrong tells me that Hope Valley has been in the operation of rescuing these horses for 20 years.
We are doing some really good adoptions and getting these horses into good homes with people to take care of them. And so our goal is to get all these guys into homes and them not ever have to worry about being hungry again and sick. And so she's a mess. You lay down in the mud.
In Valley Center, Brady Bowman, 12 News.
Now, Bluestem Equine says many of the horses were around 600 to 700 pounds when they should have been closer to 1100 to 1200 pounds. A pool tournament was held this weekend in Ark City. The funds from that will help Bluestem with expenses to rehab at-risk horses and the livestock. A Factfinder alert so you don't fall for it. A Kansas woman wants to warn others after she was scammed out of more than $1,500. These right here are gift card receipts, proof of her money lost. The Olathe woman wanted to get a dog, so she started communicating with someone on Facebook Marketplace who she thought was a breeder. They told her the puppy would be driven to her, but it never came.
Today, I'm at the point where I'm out of money, I've got no dog, lesson learned.
So she says that negotiation happened fast, with the scammer having her pay through text and gift cards. Now she realizes the pictures and videos of the dog were AI generated. Moving forward, she'll insist on seeing any dog in person first. And if you have a story, we do want to hear from you. You can call us or email our investigators at the address and the number you see there on your screen. We'll look into any of your issues for the next Factfinder Investigates.